The Worst is a local band based out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. We chatted with the band about musical influences, their origins, and nostalgia for old toys, which led to their stop-motion video for the song Roomy. They also shared with us the process of recording their debut album, 12-Legged Luncheon. I'm Amy, and he's Brent, and this is La Crosse Local.
My name's Eric. I'm the drummer for The Worst. I was born in '84 in La Crosse. My mom was pretty musical. She played piano a lot. I was just interested in drums a lot when I was a kid, so if I wanted to play drums, they made me get piano lessons, so I did that for a couple years and then started playing drums in school band and all that, and then just got crazy about it.
I'll go next. My name's Justin Ernest. I was born in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin, which is a 3.5-hour drive north of here. I don't remember how I got into music. I always wanted to play guitar. I saw some people playing it on TV. I got a guitar when I was 16, and I was finally able to make music, and that's about it. That's the whole story.
Dave, I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and I moved here when I was 14, and I didn't really do too much music until I moved here. When I started some drum lessons. I come from a musical family. My sister and my father are both pianists, jazz pianists, and I was probably the least musical out of that group. That's kind of my story.
Just recently, just watching the new music video and just listening to some of your songs. What are some of your musical influences?
I think all four of us have pretty different influences when it comes to like specific bands that we listen to, but we all kind of come from that background of like wanting to experiment and just have that ability to play whatever we want to. Like for me, that's artists like Bjork and, you know, TV on the radio, even like the Beatles and shit that just like weren't really tied down by we have to do this one specific thing. When we first got the band together, there was kind of a discussion about that of like what we really wanted to sound like. And I think it was just always from day one, no one wanted to tell anyone else in this group like what to do. So we were just like, why not just pull influences from everywhere?
How did The Worst come together? What was the impetus for that?
We all kind of have known each other in the scene. I knew Justin 10 years ago. We were in a band together for like a month that never really went anywhere. But we all started playing at Popcorn together, me, Dave, and Andy. And we just clicked so well together that I think it was Andy that kind of started pushing us to get a little more serious about it. Out of the three of us, none of us really wanted to be the vocalist or the main vocalist. So we kind of begged Justin, and he saw us play a couple jams when we were playing at like the Eagle's Nest and Popcorn. And then we finally just, I think, tricked him into doing it.
What really happened was I was trying to get Justin I wanted to be in a band with him, and he was always apprehensive. And Andy and Eric and I started the band. We played one gig and we needed a name, and I had the name The Worst written down with 100 other names. He liked it after I introduced us as Hi, We're the Worst.
I lost my mind.
Then we started playing these gigs at the Eagle's Nest, like once a week, I think, where we were just kind of jamming some stuff. And Justin came and heard us play. And then I think it was the next week, then he brought his amp and wanted to sit in and play with us. And it kind of started like that, pretty simple.
So you also have a new music video out for a song called
Roomy.
That's a wild video. I mean, how did that song and video concept come about?
Yeah, that's been super awesome.
That's all Eric.
The song wasn't all me.
Well, the video.
That was the song. I might be wrong on this, but I think that was the first song that Justin brought to the band that like me, Dave, and Andy really had a lot of input on it. Our first 10 songs together were a lot of stuff that like Justin had already written, and we were like, okay, yeah, we can put our own flavor on this, but they were primarily his songs. Where Roomy, he kind of brought to the table and was like, you guys do whatever you want to. So it was cool to kind of make that be the first thing we put out off of the new recording to kind of like really be like, this is how we sound. I think with the video, I always wanted to do a stop motion thing because of everyone telling me how difficult it was. And I was like, well, fine. I love torturing myself. So Justin had mentioned to me probably like 2 years ago about a friend of his who was going to do like a toy stop motion video for him that never really came about. And I had all these old ass toys from my childhood that I was going to just throw in a rummage sale or some shit. But I was like, well, what if I kind of, it's that kid from Toy Story that like rips all of his toys apart. I'm like, oh shit, I can do that. I'll get a hot glue gun and
Sid?
Yeah, Sid. and make a music video out of it. And I just think it fit the style of the band really well. It's kind of crazy and funny. And we're kind of crazy and funny. I don't know. There's no like strong concept for it or anything. I was just trying to have a good time and like set the bar kind of high for myself, because I think like the bar is set pretty high by our music and the writing in this band. So I didn't want to do a lazy video.
It definitely took me back to when I was in grade school, early high school, and you had to do video projects. And you didn't have the technology that you do now. And you would actually go and try to make things like this. It gave me a little bit of a throwback experience, which I kind of appreciated.
I could make you feel young again.
So how has the process of recording this is your debut album that's coming out soon. Is it still called 12-Legged Luncheon?
Yep.
So how has that process? Are you done? Are you in the works?
I think I've been doing the mixing. We recorded at 3 different studios, and I think the mixing is about done, and we're going to send it to Jesse Wolf to get mastered, and everything's pretty much done. We just have to do all the planning for release at this point. So we're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess just an aside, I mean, I've told a lot of musicians, that I've interviewed, and also heard a lot of stories about them just being decimated by the effects of having to stay at our houses due to COVID-19. Has this experience changed your writing or performing or anything like that?
I don't know if it's changed our writing. It's definitely changed how we planned on promoting our new album. And it's definitely changed, I think, like how we've been trying to do live shows, with just doing live streams. The first 3 we did were all acoustic, just because it made it easier recording wise. And I think like most bands around here, we're still trying to like figure out the best way to do that. Because I think above everything, we just miss playing out together, not really the trying to make money off of gigs or anything like that. Just that experience of, playing with our friends and, having that camaraderie with people is definitely lost right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to make up for that with live streams and engaging with people online. We've been trying to be on our Instagram page a lot, on Facebook a lot, even though Facebook's nuts right now. But we're trying to stay as positive as we can.
So if people want to find out more about The Worst, find out when this debut album's coming out, where do they head?
Get on Deathless Dogs Instagram and Midwest Voltage Instagram, because they're always helping us promote our shit. But our Instagram and our Facebook page is The Worst for Real is where you want to go.
TheWorstForReal.com.
TheWorstForReal.com is our
TheWorstForReal.bandcamp.com.
our brand new website. TheWorstForReal.com.
Lacrosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you would like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at Lacrosse Locals. Subscribe to the Lacrosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We thank you for it.